Soft, melancholic piano music begins. A faint scent of old paper and rain hangs in the air. A young woman's voice, tinged with a wistful sadness and a hint of intellectual superiority, begins to speak. "Oh, darling, you wouldn't believe. You simply wouldn't. It started as these things always do, with a shimmering promise. A brochure, perfectly curated, a vision of 5-star serenity. Cretan Malia Park, Crete. The name itself sounded like a whispered secret, a haven of Grecian delight. I, of course, have standards. My grandmother, blessed soul, always said a woman of refinement deserves only the very best. And truthfully, I've been coddled, I admit it. A boarding school in Switzerland, summers in the Hamptons, one becomes accustomed to a certain level of existence. It's just, when something is presented as exceptional, one expects it to be. Like expecting champagne to actually taste like champagne, not fizzy grape juice pretending. You understand? It's fundamental. It's about respect, isn't it? Respect for the discerning palate, the cultivated soul, a basic expectation. To be utterly, cruelly deprived of that, it's a violation, really. The arrival itself a harbinger, quite frankly. It wasn't the grand sweep of palm trees and dazzling white architecture the photos flaunted. Instead, the rooms, they were tired, like a dowager duchess attempting to revive a youthful glamour. The stucco was faded, the paint peeling. There was a damp smell, a distinct mustiness, clinging to the upholstery like a regret. I'm speaking of a fragrance that whispered, "We haven't seen a proper renovation since the 1900s. Can you imagine? My childhood home in Riga, even during the leanest years of the Soviet regime, had more character. And crucially, more care. Now I traveled with my fiancé, darling Dmitri. We were celebrating our engagement, you see. A romantic escape. We are old souls, him and I, steeped in art, receptive to ambience. Dmitri, bless his meticulous heart, immediately noticed the absence of a crib. We specifically requested one. We had mentioned our dear goddaughter, little Annalise, would be joining us. After a considerable wait, a crib did arrive. But devoid of linen. Devoid. Picture it, a bare, skeletal frame of wood, a monument to logistical incompetence. One has to ask, what is the point? It's the difference between offering a gesture and genuinely caring. It's like presenting a wilted rose and claiming it's a symbol of eternal love. Is that not tragic? And the staff, a remarkable study in indifference. It wasn't a maliciousness, not precisely. It was worse. It was a weary resignation, a vacant stare, as if acknowledging your existence was a profound personal inconvenience. Inquiring about anything, a cup of tea, an extra pillow, a basic human interaction elicited a slow blink and a sigh. Dmitri, he's a diplomat, used to navigating complex international relations. Even he was unnerved. He said it felt like we were intruding on their collective ennui. An ennui, I tell you. It's like being a guest in someone's deeply prolonged, existential crisis. The food, the food. A debacle, a culinary tragedy in multiple acts. The Italian restaurant, reportedly a highlight, served pasta that tasted faintly of dish soap and regret. The Cretan restaurant was dejected. The Italian restaurant was the only one that had competent staff, which makes it even more sad. But the real nadir, the beach shack. The beach shack, my darlings, served tuna from a tin. A tin. 4 meters from the Aegean Sea, a bounty of fresh, glistening fish, and they presented us with preserved, metallic-tasting sadness. Honestly, you wouldn't feed it to a particularly discerning street cat. It wasn't just the taste, it was the principle. It was the audacity. To be so flagrantly, so casually lazy. Don T, you agree? It's a profound philosophical failure. And the children, sweet, darling children, naturally. I adore C.
Children in controlled doses, but this was a siege. A relentless, shrieking army of tiny humans, unchecked, uncontained. No adult-only zones, not even a sliver of.
Okay, so I was looking into stuff near Cretan Malia Park, Crete, you know. Just because, it's good to know, right? Especially if you're going for 2 weeks like a proper holiday. It's not all sunshine and beaches, unfortunately. Businesses around here, they can be a little opportunistic, let us say, like with the ATMs. Apparently there's this scam, they call it the Lebanese trap. Seriously. Who comes up with these names? Anyway, tourists mostly, trying to get cash near Cretan Malia Park, they get these things stuck on the ATMs. Blocks your card, shows a fake number. You call it thinking you're getting help and boom, they steal your card info. Can you believe people do that? It's just awful. You probably panicked, right? If happened to me, I would have cried and wanted to go home. I bet most people canceled their cards immediately, reported it all. And the scammers? They probably moved on to the next tourist, honestly. They likely had other devices ready to go, sad to say. And then there's the suns. Oh, the suns. Near Maradi Beach, it's not right by Cretan Malia Park, but like people go there, it's a day trip, Apparently the price for a sund and umbrella is supposed to be around €8. 8. But vendors were charging like 15, 25. For a sund, can you imagine, especially the ones at the front near the water? Prime location, they say, it's just robbery. Seriously, who thinks that's okay? I think people probably paid it though, just to not cause a scene. They're on holiday, they don't want to argue. But they probably felt really ripped off and annoyed about it. Then probably complained to the tourist information. My guess is the vendors kept doing it anyway, until someone important got mad.
The businesses surrounding Cretan Malia Park, Crete, they leave a rather bleak impression. It's not simply that some places are bad, it's that a pervasive air of, let's say, cutting corners seems to characterize them. A feeling of being subtly, consistently taken advantage of. It's like the area has collectively decided that tourists are walking wallets, and the welcome mat is considerably less plush than it appears. It gets under your skin, Like finding a single hair in your otherwise perfect souvlaki, it ruins the whole thing. Let's unpack this, shall we? I've spent some time sifting through what people have actually experienced, and a pattern emerges. It's not a pattern of isolated incidents, it's more like a carefully constructed system, designed for maximum profit with minimal effort. It's disheartening. Let's start with the shops. Souvenir shops in this area, generally speaking, seem to operate on a principle of aggressive salesmanship and inflated pricing. Forget browsing peacefully, it's more akin to running a gauntlet. I Love Malia souvenirs are ironically sold with a significant lack of love. The shop named I Love Malia Souvenir Shop seems particularly notorious. People report being swarmed by staff the moment they step inside, pressured to buy, and generally made to feel uncomfortable. One person described it as being stalked while looking at items. It's not a relaxing shopping experience, but rather a feeling of being hunted. And the prices, overblown apparently. One reviewer compared them to being very high, typical of tourist traps. Others mentioned the shop was simply bad and expensive. There's sparse feedback delivered, but it paints a clear picture. Even the physical space itself is described as misleading. People expecting a mall or shopping center are left confused, finding only a cramped store. It's as if they're deliberately luring people in with false pretenses. It feels wrong. Like a slight against common decency. It's not about the price of a magnet, it's about the principle of the thing. They're preying on your vacation joy, selling a diluted version of Crete within a shop designed to drain your wallet. Then there's the fitness side of things. Wellness clubs, presented as havens for the health-conscious traveler, reveal themselves to be, profit centers disguised as gyms. ACT4, the wellness club, especially sticks in my mind. The complaints are consistent. The pricing structure is predatory, particularly aimed at tourists. People are reporting rates that are double what locals pay, and frankly, exorbitant for the facilities offered. One person paid over €50 for just a couple of days, more than a monthly membership back home. They're capitalizing on your desire to stay fit on vacation. It's a calculated move, and it's not just the price. There are additional charges for towels, a lack of ventilation, overcrowded conditions, and staff who seem actively annoyed by customers. A visitor recounted being spoken to rudely when asking for directions within the gym, then discovering their belongings were missing, and the staff simply directed them to Instagram for assistance. Instagram, the ignominy of it all. It's not a gym, it's a cleverly disguised cash grab. A business that functions far more on misery than muscle. It's truly frustrating. Let's move on to dining. Restaurants in the area, oh dear. Avli in Malia is a prime example of style over substance. It looks beautiful, enticing, and they lure in customers with a promise of authentic Cretan cuisine. what people experience is often remarkably different. Repeated complaints about atrocious service, orders forgotten, and indifferent staff. One person recounted waiting an extended period before staff even acknowledged them. Another felt ignored, attributing it to their accent or nationality. The food itself, apparently a significant